I am Paul Hamrick.
And I'm Avni Bansal.
This presentation is about our research into the clusters NGC 3301, NGC 1904, NGC 5272, and Terzan 3, and our investigation of the RR Lyraes of Terzan 3 and NGC 3201.
So in order to investigate these clusters, we image them in 8 different filters. So these are colorized versions of those images.
Here is a Hertzsprung-Russell or HR diagram. We made color magnitude diagrams, or CMDs, which are analogous to this. This diagram, and others like it, give us insight into distance, age, reddening, and metallicity of stars in a globular cluster.
The images we took were reduced using the point spread function photometries, PSX and DOP. Next, a software called Pisochrone, created by our solar siblings, used the calibrated star magnitudes and photometry from our images, as well as catalog data to generate color magnitude diagrams of each cluster, using 10 different color indexes and magnitude measures. So when we enter different ages, distances, metallicities, and reddening values for the cluster, the program creates different isochrones, which are represented by the red line. So we adjusted the 4 parameters for the isochrone until it fitted the data as closely as possible. In the case of NGC 5272 and NGC 1904, our parameters agreed with those in the literature, but in Terzan 3 and NGC 3201, our parameters differed significantly. So for example, we found Terzan 3 to be 1.2 kiloparsecs away, whereas the literature says it's 8.1 kiloparsecs away.
We analyzed previously identified Lyraes in NGC 3201 by taking time series images of them and reducing the images with point spread function photometries. To find their periods, we developed a code that folded the timestamps of our images over different periods from 0.1 to 1 days with increments of 0.001 days and plotted the corresponding light curves. To determine the period which developed the smoothest light curve, we developed a code called Genie, which used the string length method. The string length method is based on the idea that if you laid a string on top of each of the curve with the shortest string length must be the smoothest. In this way, we found 2 Lyraes, which our period guess yielded a smoother light curve than the literature period did, like the light curve here.
One difficulty we faced while making light curves was that stars in NGC 3201 are very close together. So the Gini code sometimes plotted the brightness of both stars on the same plot, of 2 stars that are very close together on the same plot, resulting in wild outliers which obscured any pulsation.
We used the same methodology to search for Lyraes in Terzan 3, which previously had no identified RR Lyraes. However, we were able to identify 28 stars whose light curves show a clear pulsation.
So to summarize, we found the distance, age, reddening, and metallicity for 4 clusters. We characterized the RR Lyraes in 2 clusters. We updated the periods for 2 Lyraes in NGC 3201 and found 28 potential pulsators in Terzan 3.
So here are the organizations that helped make this presentation possible. The Las Cumbres Observatories, the Society for Astronomical Sciences, and our solar siblings.